Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to be moving a bunch of animals around all of these corrals. A lot of dairy farmers, or some, don't raise their own livestock. They would just buy some heifers when they're right about to calve and then start milking them. But for us, that doesn't make sense, so we raise our own livestock, and that's pretty much what all of these corrals are for. It's for raising replacements for the milk herd. So we take animals from a couple months old, raise them all the way up till when they're able to be milked, and that's what these corrals are mainly for our dairy farm. So that comes with a lot of extra work though, so you gotta shuffle them through, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be taking the oldest ones out of corrals like 2 and 3 and just moving them along, getting them into that next stage. There's a bunch of heifers in here that are bred. We did have a preg check done on this corral. There's about 30 heifers in here, I believe, and there were quite a few of them pregnant, so we're good to put them with the cleanup bull now, which means if these ones were AI'd and they didn't catch, so they're not pregnant, they're gonna go in the pen with the bull, and he's gonna do his thing, and he's gonna get them pregnant so that they can become good milking cows. We like to artificially inseminate the cows, or the heifers first though, before we put them with the bull, just to give that opportunity to get some better genetics in the herd. But yeah, we're gonna start by taking this corral out, and we're gonna take all the collars off these ladies and move them into their next corral. Morning, Dima.
Morning.
So we got the first half of corral 2 in the tub now. We just gotta feed them through that alley. Usually once they start flowing, they go pretty good. So we'll just run them up through the hydraulic chute here. Open the gate at the front with my controls here. Come on, lady. And then I gotta manually catch her yet. There we go.
Kind of paper.
Well, lady. So that's another fine batch of heifers. I'd like to say they're all on average about 16 months old and pregnant, but that's the perfect case scenario. You know, there's probably some in here that are still open and they're getting a little bit too old, so now we got to put them with the bull. Make sure they get bred. You don't want to let a heifer get too old before she gets bred for the first time. Hey, come on, ladies. Hey. And that's why we put them with the bull now. This is corral 3, and we're going to sort the oldest ones out of here and then put them into corral 2. Come on, ladies! Hey, come on. Come on, come on. So that's our new batch of breeding age heifers. Got to put some collars on them, give them some vaccines yet, and then they'll go back into corral 2. A lot of them are too small yet to breed, but we're going to put them in there anyway. Just give them a month or so, and then we can breed them. We usually want to breed our heifers around 15 months, not any earlier, and that's how we do it. Now we're processing the animals that are going into the breeding pen corral 2, and we do a couple of things for these ladies. We give them a collar, and this is an activity collar so we can see when they come in heat, and that's the whole point of corral 2, so that we can breed the heifers. And we're also giving them 2 vaccines. We're also, the other thing we're giving them is a magnet. So this is a magnet, and we give it to them orally, so it's going to be in their stomach. And this magnet should be in the stomach of the cow for its entire life. It's never going to go all the way through the body. It's pretty heavy. It's just going to sit at the bottom of the cow's stomach. And we do this because you never know what's in the cow's feed. We always try to keep it really clean, but you never know. It is going through equipment, that's silage. It's going through a chopper. It's going through a swather. The loader's driving it up on top of the pit, and you never know if there's going to be a little shard of metal or something that gets into the feed. And what these magnets do, it bunches it up in the cow's stomach if she were ever to get something like that, maybe even a nail if you're building a barn, something like that they could ingest that's metal. And this is just going to protect that metal and not make it cut her up on the inside. These things work really good. A lot of guys give them, and it's just another safety for the cow for the rest of its life. So those are all the finished ladies that are going into corral 2. Now we're gonna take the oldest calves out of the reno barn, or the last oldest calves that are still in a barn. We're gonna take them outside. There's about, I believe, 24 in total. And we're gonna have to run them through the chute as well. So I'm gonna make the chute, the whole alley here, a lot skinnier. And all you gotta do to do that is take these pins out on the side. And we do that because we don't want the calves to turn around as soon as they get in here. Otherwise, they're gonna be going backwards, turning around, making circles. You just wanna keep them facing straight into the squeeze chute here. I also squeezed up the chute, which you can just do with the hydraulics. Just with this lever here. You can thin it right out, make it a lot wider. So I think that's about right. And then it's nice in line with the rest of the alley, and the calves aren't gonna be able to turn around here at all either. So we're in the barn. These two groups are the ones we're gonna be taking outside, and it's always a struggle to get them to go outside. Doesn't matter if it's summertime or winter time, they're always really hesitant to step outside for the first time ever. And that's why we're just gonna open the gate. We're gonna give them about 10 minutes. Just leave them here. They can walk outside freely as they want. Animals, they need a bit of time to look and smell and see the new environment, and then they're a lot easier to get outside. Otherwise, you basically have to ram them outside using that gate. And I don't really like to do that. It's a lot harder on the calves, and it's a lot harder on me as well. So the easier we can get it for both the calves and me, I'm happy about that. So we're just gonna open that gate up, give them all the time in the world to step out on their own. You can see it's like a solid barrier that's invisible there that they just don't want to step out. So this morning we chased all cows around the corrals, and it's after lunch now. We had a little break. We're gonna get back at it. But we have a live vaccine, so we had to mix that vaccine up with some water just to get it activated, and they call that a live vaccine. It only works for 6 hours, so we got to use the rest of that vaccine, unfortunately. So we got to wrestle some calves in the calf barn. Should be fun, and give that to them, and then we're gonna move one of the calf rooms out. So all right, calves are moved over now. This is room for room 2. I'll go grab the wheel loader with the calf mover. Calves are out of this room, time to clean it out. Guys, it is the next day now, and this morning when we were milking cows, we started to notice a little bit of an issue with our indexing here in the parlor. The way our index works, there's little airbags behind this little mechanism here where this entire thing rests onto, and if I turn the index on, it'll press this entire section back, and it'll push the cow's shoulders kind of right here. It'll kind of push them back, and it'll force them to walk a little bit back, and it'll press their butts up against this butt pan. And what it also does is bring the udder closer to us while we're in the parlor here, so that it's easier for us to milk them. You can imagine if the cow's constantly able to move a little bit further away from you when you're trying to clean her. Could get a little bit irritating with some smaller cows, so you have that index, pushes them closer to you, and makes milking a lot easier. But on this side of the parlor, our index, it's stuck on, and for some reason we can't turn it off. And we gotta be able to turn it off to lift it and drop it down. So we're gonna try and figure this out here. So I got my sister here, Miriam. She's gonna press the button in the parlor so I can watch up here and see if I can see like an air leak or something like that. So you can press it. Okay, so there was just a little, this kind of air drain system or air bleeder right here was just loose. Kind of got shot to the back of this silver box here. Somehow that Must have wiggled itself loose, and that's what gave us the problem today. But we got it figured out. Thanks. It works one more time. Let it get all the way up, and then we'll try putting it down. Perfect. That's awesome. One more thing we're gonna do today, I wanna clean this pile of manure up here that's just behind our parlor / straw pack barn right there. This is just manure from the calf barns mostly, as well as the alleys in our straw pack barn there. We just scooped the manure out of those alleys, pile it up here, and it's dry now. We got a rain like not even a week ago, but the yard dried out quite a bit. We got a ton of rain, or sorry, a ton of wind, and that really dries the yard out really quick, and a lot of heat as well. So it's pretty dry. Clean it up now before it gets too big here. It's always annoying. Wheel it over with the case, get her cleaned up. Awesome, so we got that pile completely cleaned up there. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go pressure wash this bucket off. Awesome, we got the bucket of the wheel loader nice and clean, parked back in the shed here. We just want to clean that thing off just in case. We usually do feed with the New Holland wheel loader, but if something on that thing would break and we weren't able to use it, we can always grab the case loader. Bucket's got to be clean for that, otherwise we're going to feed with a dirty bucket. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.